Let the record reflect that I've taken roll, that all members of the board are present today with the exception of Joe Thorpe. Having a quorum, we will proceed. The report of the minutes from the August 19th meeting have been printed, posted, and circulated. Are there any corrections to the minutes? No objections, and the minutes will be approved as posted. Under unfinished business this afternoon, our first item is the water quality testing. Craig?
Everything's good. Results back from, I guess we're talking about the ones from July, so we're good.
Okay. So, any questions on the water quality? All right.
I will say one thing. I did get a letter from Mr. Dietzler, Harry Hill Patterson, Heber B. and Dietzler. I think you two need to review. So legal issues, reference to C8. So.
Next item on our agenda this afternoon is the ARP discussion. We, later on in the agenda today, will talk about the 45th place water main replacement. That money will come out of the ARP funds that are left. We don't know what that amount will be. Council has approved to fund that project, so we will see how much it comes in once Craig gets the bidding specs out. And there's several items on here that relate to that, so I'm going to let that go until we get down to it. But anyway, we still have ARP money left, and we've done very well with the funds that we have received or have been allocated to us in the past. So that's been a real help. Any specific questions on the ARP? All right. So the 5-year plan. I had a discussion this week with Mr. Michael Dougherty, who is a gentleman with WVU. He is working on our 10-year plan for the city. He has had a tough time because of COVID and what have you. They basically shut the WVU down, and he did not get the work accomplished, but he thought he would. But he recently has been awarded a graduate assistant who will be dedicated to working on Vienna and Williamstown. And he said to me yesterday that he anticipated that we would have our 10-year plan completed by the end of the year, which is a good thing. So all of the things that are in our 5-year plan will be included in the 10-year plan. And then, if there's anything else that we need to do, probably should get it pretty quickly, because that way we can get it included in the 10-year plan. So I think we've got several projects on the board that will take us a while to get done. So, but it's good to have that. So, any additions or corrections to the 5-year plan? All right. Craig, tell us about the River Road Water Project, please.
It is completed. Contractor done a great job. Everything's up online. We have seen a difference in our water flows. We've had to adjust some things around, so it's working like it should. So the contractor has submitted their final bill. Let's just talk to Craig about it before the meeting. I'll make it for submittal for a proposal to complete it and pay it. There is no extra fees. What they originally bid is what we'll pay. So there's no overruns on the job, which I'm really tickled about. Most that's because the contractor and Public Works work pretty close together and kind of works a lot of things out. But there's one little section they got to repair, and that's where they did the boring on Lonsdale Drive. It comes across when you go across River Road, you'll see a little dip. I spoke to them about that. They're going to come back and mill out and fix that when it sells just a little bit more. So at that time, I'll do the final payout. So.
Did you find out if there was any retention?
No, there is none.
Okay, so when we're done, we're done.
We're done. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'd have to say it was pretty painless.
Yeah.
I mean, we kept River Road open a lot more than I thought we would. What was the final bill from the railroad for the traffic control?
Actually, like 3,500.
That's good, because it was
like 21,000.
Yeah.
Proposed, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we submitted that bill and we paid it, so.
Okay, all right. Any questions on the River Road Water Project?
Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
So now that that's completed, when do you anticipate you're gonna do, I think it's wells 9 and 10, waiting on that?
Rehab,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll propose this, it has to do with a lot of the rate structure. Um, I know we're still doing, well, we're talking rate structure, once we get in place, that'll be part of that project, so we'll try to do 9 and 10. Shut them down and redo them. Okay, so next year.
Okay, because I thought we were kind of waiting on this First Avenue project to be completed so you can do 9 and 10.
That's correct.
Okay.
I just don't think we have the money to do it this time.
Yeah, I mean, I have no clue how much it costs to do that, but.
Okay.
Electrical upgrades, your estimate on doing 9 and 10?
Okay. Thank
All right.
you.
Any other questions on the River Road Water Project? Okay,
But I will say it will push water down lower in town because that's what we're doing. Trying to adjust balance the pumps out 9 and 10 because we're we're not running them long enough we're pushing too much water out 7 and 8 now. So it's good.
Good deal.
Yep. Real good.
okay. All right, so the 12th Street lift station pump replacement.
It should be October, maybe early part of November. Pumps get in. So I haven't heard any delays of you. So that's good.
How many days, I mean, obviously they'll switch them out one at a time, or are you gonna do them all three at once and just shut the system down, or what?
There's some piping they need to replace up top. They might be shut down, but it won't be for a length of time.
Is there any electrical conversion that you know of?
Yeah.
So same voltage, okay,
Right.
all right. Speaking of 12th Street, did you find out if our electric panel was still in place and hot?
They are. And the newer old garage, they are still there.
Yeah, so we're okay.
Mhm.
When they removed the other panel, they left us
They
alone.
didn't remove any panels.
Is the other one still there too? Okay,
We see no indication he's even in there.
okay, all right. All right, so that moves us down to 45th place.
Well, we've got all the right of ways.
Oh, did you hear that? Well, you got a mouse in your pocket?
Well, I helped. I got you the paperwork.
Oh, thank you.
Randy was gracious enough. I actually got in the field and talked to residents, which I appreciate. And they get all the right of ways signed. So we're good to go. I want to talk to Lisa today, but I'll talk to her Monday and see where the holdup is now and try to progress. With the acquisition of right of ways, we do have the capabilities of running from 45th Place subdivision out over to 4th Avenue now where the sewer goes. So we'll try to tie it in, add that to the project. So it'll give us one more loop in that system. And it'll eliminate 2 dead end lines. So we're excited about that. So.
Do we have any, yeah, we have to talk to Lisa first, okay?
Pardon?
You said you needed to talk to Lisa first?
Yeah, I mean, about completing the project.
Well, I mean, we're getting, it's September now.
Yeah, it'll probably be in springtime for actually get underground. So,
We're well under.
right.
Needed you guys to wrap the reason issue up. Also discuss how we're going for that.
Yeah, but it's getting close. I mean, unless we get lucky and find a contractor that's just, caught up. Besides that, by the time you get it bid out, that's what, 45 days to do that. So, and then November and December are not good months for us because of, guys being off all the time, so.
We haven't had an issue in that subdivision for over a year now, so it's good.
Good hydrant.
Yes, we do.
How long does it take to get a hydrant?
Actually, we probably got one stock to do it. So
That's what I'm saying is that still there's the delivery time on material issue.
it's 6 weeks last time I ordered one.
Even if you get it, if you want to put on
Well, I mean, we'll see what Lisa says as far as, I mean, we haven't seen the plans yet. You probably have, but
Just rough.
yeah. So, but we are ready now. It's,
We are.
okay, so that's a good thing. Questions on 45th, please? All right. Burgess and Niple Water and Wastewater System Improvement Project, update on rate study.
I don't know if you've heard anything. We've gone sometimes out there to from it. And, what was it? We run a conference call for a project for Benlin last Thursday. And I think he recognized that we were on the phone. So he sees it, everybody hung up. He picked up the phone. I asked, what's the status of it? So do you have information you need from Vienna utility board? He told me he still needs some more information. So I don't know if he's contacted me.
He is not, because we talked about that yesterday. And I can't remember, what's the lady's name that does all the input for him? Dixie, that's it. And Amy's been with, we've given Dixie everything she asked for. So if I'll have Amy touch base with Dixie and say, okay, what do you need now? Because we thought we had done everything. No.
I think that what it is since our audit was so late getting completed, there's one issue, and the final audit report needs to get to them. I spoke
that's
to Amy
easy.
about that, and that's
Okay.
what she's waiting for.
All right. Well,
They
that's,
was trying to do something with the old audit from a couple years ago, but they need a new audit report.
okay.
But she's working with it. Amy was.
Well, we got it. Okay.
You have the final.
I do. It came yesterday. Yeah. So, all right, we'll make sure we get that out to them. Okay. Dredging on Pond Run, dredging of Pond Run and the dry dams.
Wow, where do we begin? It's just going pretty well. We got an email this week, right, Randy?
You did.
You want to cover that? You spoke to individuals, so it's.
I don't know if you all remember, but years ago when we first started, and I'm very proud of this fact that when stormwater came about, we were right at the front of it. We jumped in with both feet with John Stump and all of those guys and used the Morgantown platform and built our stormwater ordinance off of that. Well, years ago, we worked with a guy named John King. You may not remember John King. You probably do, Craig. But anyway, John King was the guy that was actually, to the meetings where we ran, came here. And so he wrote a really nice letter. Senator Capito's office came the other day, well, it's probably been a month ago maybe, and asked what we could use help on. So I laid Pond Run on it. Okay? So we got this really nice letter back where they had reached out. They've got possible funding sources. They reached out to John King. John King said, I have worked with these people in the past. They run a first-class operation, and they are great people to work with. I thought that was a super recommendation. And so, anyway, they forwarded that letter to Kathy Emery. And so Kathy Emery's the lady that's in charge of the DEP. What division would she be over?
She's a division of water waste. She's not the chief. She might be the acting chief. I think she is.
Okay. Anyway, they sent all of that stuff to Kathy Emery. So I don't know how, but we certainly got a glowing recommendation. So if we can get our fingers on some of that federal money to do Pond Run, boy, that'd make that nice.
Well, we definitely got the ear of a lot of people.
Oh,
Seems
yeah.
like we've touched out a lot of for a lot of grant money, so hopefully one of them will come in.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, we got grants out there for everything, Jiminy Christmas. But at any rate, that's the best result that I think we've gotten. So, you know, that project's still going. We'll see if we can luckily snag some of that federal money. So,
and it's not only that about reference to Mr. King, which is a great guy, but Lori, you want to talk about your experience you did 2 weeks ago? Now, is it 2 weeks? You don't remember, huh? The guy calling you, you got over his stuff, and he's telling you how nice it was to. Oh yeah. Why don't you tell the board that? DEP called in and was going to review our permits that we have out for dirt sites and our stormwater permit, and the gentleman from DEP was very pleased with our stuff and said how nice it was to work with us. And out of all the cities, that he felt the city of Vienna was right there at the top of it. So, and that goes a long way too with grants. So, I mean, they talked to the permitting agency, and we have completed our stuff in a timely manner and doing the right thing. You run press the rain gardens that we've done. So, hopefully it'll help on the grants on the fun run.
well, are you going to go to the water quality meeting, Craig? Maybe. Yeah, Kathy Emery's the featured speaker. Yeah, so we will definitely have a little chat with Kathy and say, hey, we're the good guys John was talking about. Anyway, yeah, you do that for us, would you? I'm like Lori. I'm kind of bashful. I don't want to brag.
I do remember that. Not your.
Uh-huh.
Very impressed with our work. So.
Very highly.
And actually, that's Lori he was impressed with. She does our permitting for us. So I give an atta girl, I guess, for Lori. So.
I guess.
That's hard for me to say. She knows that.
All right. Anything else on Pond Run?
Nah.
All right. So we move on to the task order number 2022-06, which is the 28th Street Storm Drainage Improvements, preliminary design of phases 1 through 3, and final design and bidding of phase 1 and 28th Street Storm Drainage Improvement Technical Memorandum, the approval of engineering fees to start the design. 2 council meetings ago, it was voted on that council would give the utility board $160,000 in order to pay for this study. So if you have your paperwork with you, Mike, if the board votes to go ahead and authorize this, then we'll sign that today and you guys can get started. So are there any questions on Mike's agreement? I mean, it's like massive, of course, as always. All right. If not, then I'll entertain a motion for the approval of task order number 2022-06. That is the correct number, right? Yes, all right.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve task order number 2022-06. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, then I'll call for the question. All those in favor of task order number 2022-06, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed? Gentlemen, go to work. Okay? We've been looking for this for a while. Can we have it by the end of October?
Sure.
I didn't say
Yeah, of
September.
course. Yeah.
You didn't say what year.
Oh, there you go. Hey, whose side are you on? Now I'm siding with Lori.
Thank you.
Sheesh. All right. So moving on to new business. Craig, the discussion on Lonsdale View water petition.
Well, we all knew this was going to come. So with the extension of water service across the tracks and with additional hydrant, Lonsdale residents have requested water service. They currently have sewer service to us and on a well system. So they sent a petition to us to make us aware that we can go ahead and start the procedures of cost estimates and what's going to cost them in reference to mainline extension rule. So just want to let you guys aware. If you guys give me permission to go ahead, I'll go start running the calculations, but I really don't see it's gonna be that much. This will be an in-house job. We have a hydrant, at that location, and backside hydrant, I'll extend that line with a 2-inch and run and install 7 taps. So with a blow off out the end, a flush hydrant, what I call it. So it shouldn't be that much of a cost, but if you all want to proceed with this, tell me go, then, I told the residents it'd probably be next spring before I'd get in there and actually start installing utility lines.
So I would like to make sure that you make a stipulation to those people that they have to, and I'm going to require you or one of your guys to go down there and inspect to make sure they have backflow preventers on those lines.
Actually, we would install the backflow preventers.
I'm sorry?
We would install the backflow
You'll
preventers.
install the backflow preventers, okay? Because every one of those people down there is on a well.
Mhm.
And I do not want their well water backing back up into the city of Vienna's water supply. Okay?
There needs to be an air gap anyways, well, water versus city.
Yeah, they can't have the same. There's a
I'm
lot
not
more.
arguing with rules, Steve, but we just can't let them put well water back in
There's a
our
lot,
system.
lot of stipulations that will make sure it actually
Yeah,
disconnect
that's
inside their house, that kind of thing.
That's
So
kind of a hot topic.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I mean, if you think about it, if you didn't
cross
do that,
contamination.
Yes.
if you didn't do that.
yeah, we
well,
wouldn't.
would bypass it. In theory, could.
Yeah, we wouldn't. There's a lot of rules we got to follow in that, and I'll make sure that it's
Okay.
completed.
All right.
We'll not allow that to happen. So
No, I mean, you can't.
no, it's Department
You're
of
not
Health
allowed to.
issues, and it just you got a lot of rules. We got a whole checklist. We make sure it's done before we hook them up.
Well, I know that one of the benefits of doing the River Road Water Project was so that we could supply water service
Mhm.
to Lonsdale and Minniebell. And so I would entertain a motion for us to start the process for extending the water system to Lonsdale.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we start the process to extend our water system to Lonsdale. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, then all those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, motion carries.
We'll say it's nice that every one of them signed up. So
Yeah.
I don't have the issue, 6 and 1 not. So they all did request it. So
All right, so the approval of the bid for ballistic glass and installation for the Vienna Utility Board. On September the 1st, 2022, at 9:15 in the morning, the bids were open for the installation of ballistic glass in the front room. Currently, we simply have plate glass up there, and we received one bid. That bid is from 3D Glass, and the cost is $21,606.42. That is the only bid that we received. Craig, is this a good bid? Are you happy with
no,
the
it is a good bid.
contractor?
It's more than just ballistic glass. There's also a tray system that right now there's a little sliver of glass we got to run things through. This actual tray system goes under, and as Tommy says, ricochet proof bullets, and does have some speaker boxes. I call them speaker boxes, cut pieces in glass. There's like plate on each side so your voice can carry better. Right now, with the glass in place, I cannot, when someone comes out and they want to talk, I cannot hear them. My hearing's that bad, but they can't hear me. I can't hear them. So end up putting the door, which we try not to do. So, and this is the same system that the city building has. Girls out front of the city building. So
Okay. So I guess I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the low bid and only bid from 3D Glass for the installation of the ballistic glass and all the other amenities that Craig just described.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the low bid. Is there any discussion?
How we gonna pay for this, Craig?
it comes out all the 4 departments.
Okay.
Maintenance of buildings and grounds, that kind of.
Any further discussion? And I'll call for the question. All those in favor of the low bid from 3D Glass, please signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, motion carries unanimously. When will they start? I mean, is there a backlog on ballistic glass too?
Actually, not the glass, but the track system. What the glass sets in, because he just can't fit aluminum track, it actually has to be ballistic proof also. So that track system was going to hold them up. But hopefully it'll be in before Christmas.
So did you borrow a ballistic vest from police department for Sarah?
Nah.
Oh, oh, okay.
So she's pretty quick. She can jive
Is
right
she?
now. So yeah.
She can die. All right.
I just have to say. So the ballistic glass is like last week, city.
Yes.
So what's under?
Well,
What's the ballistic glass?
it
I mean, counter is.
well, that is being addressed. I'd like to talk about that outside of being online. Okay. So.
Lori, please do not put that question. Mr. Skogstad is not a member of this board. He is not allowed to ask those questions. And we don't want that in the minutes to know that if you're coming, shoot him in the knee instead of.
Yeah.
Take his comment.
Gee, man. Oh, man. All right, the approval of the bid for the demolition and removal of the house at 4705 8th Avenue, Vienna. We opened the bids on September the 21st, 2022 at 9 o'clock in the morning. We received 3 bids for the demolition of the Stouffer house. The first bid was from the Reclaim Company in the amount of $22,260. Jimmy Harper Construction bid $6,750, and J.C. Bosley Construction bid $19,600. The recommendation for the utility board is Jimmy Harper Construction in the amount of $6,750. If you look at this and you think that there's a huge discrepancy, there is. But the value of the stuff that's inside the house itself, it just happened to work out that they took that in consideration of what would be salvaged out of that when they demoed it. Okay? And so that's the reason why the one bid is so much cheaper than the other ones. To be honest, he basically has a use for some of the stuff that's in that house. So he discounted the price for that. All right?
Every light switch.
Huh?
Every light switch.
Well,
And that actually has a landfill within 2 miles. So that's
Yeah.
that particular house too, which helps out trucking wise.
Yeah.
So it's just not, when we talk about this, is it okay to talk about that now, or you want to wait till comments?
no,
Um,
just fine.
The house, when we did the specs on that to tear down, it's just not tearing down the house. There actually is removing the house, the foundations and concrete slabs and driveway and retaining walls, all that stuff. But there is some dirt work that has to be completed in that particular area that I want done to enlarge the capacity, the future retention system, and then possibly put some dirt on the backside, like a little coffer dam. So keep water from going on adjacent neighbors. So that was in the specs with grade shots. So it's just not simple to tear down a house. There's some dirt work that's going to have to be done.
Does that coffer dam that you're talking about involve any large stones or anything?
No. Got something, don't we? And on this one.
All right. So I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the low bid of $6,750 for the demolition of 4705 8th Avenue.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the low bid from Jimmy Harper Construction for $6,750. Is there any further discussion?
When do you anticipate this is gonna happen? The actual tear down?
It's 1:30 now. I'll probably start about 2 o'clock. He's waiting for me to call him so he can pick the keys up.
Okay.
It's there. He wants to get on it right away. He wants to start taking stuff out of the house. And yeah. So
And how much time do we allow him to do? 30 days?
it actually said 14 days, but was for tear down. There's a 10-day period in there. There's some issues. So you got about 24 days to actually tear it down. So
Okay. So when we get done, we probably need to notify Lori. We probably need to notify the Johnsons on the right-hand side and Dwight Norman on the left-hand side that we are going to start the demolition on that. It won't take long to figure it out when the equipment shows up, but I just think as a courtesy, we need to let them know. It's Gary Johnson's on the right-hand side and Dwight Norman is on the left.
I don't think you got to worry about Dwight. That's already been taken care of, but the one on the right-hand
knows.
side you would. So
All right. All right. So anyway, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the low bid from Jimmy Harper Construction, the amount of $6,750. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. I think one set of keys is on my desk.
I got one set of keys. I'm giving to him. So
Okay.
it's his house now. I mean, it's out there down.
When?
So,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
so
Okay.
hopefully when we get back, we won't have a door to open. So anyway, that's just one grass.
Okay. Okay. Before we go to the manager's report, is there any other questions on that demolition and the system or anything about that? All right, Craig, manager's report, please.
Everything's been pretty well. Moving on along. It seems like winter's coming awful quick this year. It's into September already. I just joked with Laura. I said, look, the next meeting is October 21st, and it's going to be here in no time. So public works side, actually, we're getting salt and sand mixers up. We'll start ordering some salt in. The adjacent cities that we help, we include in our bids for supplying it, which is Williamstown and St. Mary's. They both contacted me and said, look, we'll be ready for our salt this time. So y'all know how we do that, right? In order to get a better price, we include what Williamstown and St. Mary's would use, and it increases our quantities. So if we get a cheaper price, we've done it for several years, and so we kind of work together on that part. St. Mary's usually gets about 60 ton, and Williamstown gets about 100. So, but water and sewer, had a couple breaks, a lot of service line leaks, taps being made. Doing real well on our quantities. As to shortages in supply and demand, we're hanging in there. The contractor or the distributors are still delay on products. Sometimes you Hymax are like 6 weeks out. Hydrants are 6 weeks out. The brass fittings they seem like they're taking the longest. When we set out a quote for prices, we ask for how long a time frame it's going to come in. A lot of them are putting 3 to 6 months out. So luckily we have a substantial amount of brass in place from when we did the meter project. The thing we're short on is the large brass, like the 2-inch brass, that kind of stuff. So we might have to switch over sometimes and go to plastic. That's it. Sewer line's doing good. I don't have any issues with sewer lines or lift stations so far. It's like going to the doctor. You know, you're sick, and you make an appointment to go to the doctor, and you start feeling really well. Seems like the sewer pumps are doing that to us. Once I threatened them they're going to get replaced, they just started running great. So we did get a situation last week. The mall, you might have seen us down there. They called us in to try to assist them with the blockage they had. The whole east side of the mall sewer system was backed up, and they'd paid HIVAC and another local company to come in and try to assist them. It was like $18,000 they paid them. Could not get it unplugged. We went down with our resources, our camera truck and our vac truck. Spent a couple hours down there and fixed their issue. So.
If anyone needs a t-shirt cheap.
Yep. A little stained, but it's still good shape. So, but they was extremely pleased. So I will say that. Did they ever call you?
Yes.
Good. What did they say?
Said you guys were fantastic.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
Yeah. The funniest thing at mall, because there's 10-inch line goes inside the mall from Dunham's and right down that east side, clear to J.C. Penney's. So you really can't dig it up. We was cleaning it out. I was worried, as you know, either lose a camera or lose a jet rodder, and it'll look real funny with our excavator sitting in the middle of the mall digging the tile up. So that's what we had done. But we was fortunate enough to get it out, and it did turn out really well. So. Huh?
No, it's a t-shirt.
T-shirt. So
Oh, it's a t-shirt. Oh.
yeah.
the last time it happened was years ago, and someone went in the restroom and had evidently shoplifted a pair of pants. And so in order to get rid of the pants, they flushed the pants down the toilet and wore the new ones out. Well, that's evidently they needed a new t-shirt this time, but anyway, that t-shirt was back in there.
It was, we ran the we sat outside of a manhole outside of Dunham's and ran inside to the mall, and with our jet rodder started bringing material back on our first try. And
Oh, yeah,
the machine's so loud, I don't, like I said, I don't hear very well. The machine's so loud, and the maintenance manager said, "Well, look at all that gold." And I'm like, yeah. We what we call gold, and what he was calling two different things. And yeah, he said, "Look at all that money." We joke about that, and look down, and that manhole was full of money. There was silver pennies. There was the whole bottom of the manhole just glittered. And I'm like, "What? It actually is money." And it's like, and what it was where if y'all remember the fountain at the end,
They drained it.
they drained it, and they held that money in there. We went down that sewer line, and we pulled it all out. It was a beautiful sight. It felt like the Goonies. You guys watch the Goonies, and you throw the coins down. So, but it was really neat. I didn't keep him. I left him in the manhole. But if you all wish, there's some down there. We'll probably still some left. You can dig down to it. I don't want them. So, but yeah, it was pretty neat to see. So we all got a kick out of it. But got all the money out of them all. So that's it. Everything else is going pretty well. So
Questions for Craig? All right. Craig Richards, anything for you today? Mike? Lauren?
Yes, sir.
Steve?
No, sir.
Russell? Huh?
No.
John? Tim?
No.
Well, that's enough for me today. With that, meeting adjourned.